Hi, everyone. Welcome. We'll be starting shortly. We'll start off right at 2 p.m. But welcome. We're so excited all of you guys are here today. We'll let a few more people trickle in. All right, wonderful. We'll get started here. Well, first, we are thrilled to have you guys. Welcome to New Student Orientation. We're super excited to have all of you. The session is going to be packed with information, valuable insights. We'll introduce you to a few people as well and get you to connected to some resources as well. I want to introduce myself. My name is Erin. I'm the Student Success Manager here at CIET. I oversee our fantastic team of Student Success Advisors who will be with you throughout this step of the way throughout your program. I'll talk a little bit more about that as well in a little bit. We're going to be joined by several departments. I'm going to call special attention to our enrollment coordinators. They're going to be active in our chat, but they've been working with your admissions to make sure that you've been onboarded and also registered for that first course. They're going to be active in the chat, as I mentioned before. So they're going to drop any questions in there. Feel free. We're going to get those answered for you. And they're also going to be sharing important links. Please be sure to save those, bookmark those, so you guys have that later on as well. And then a few more things before we get started. This is getting recorded, so if you miss anything you want to revisit, you're going to have access to that. And then everyone has been muted just to make sure we have a distraction-free session. We will be able to unmute you later on when we do our question and answers at the end. And then finally, if you are using military benefits, please be sure to attend our military briefing. That is at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be a great opportunity for you to get your questions answered, learn more about your benefits, anything regarding that will get answered in that session. That link will also be posted into the chat as well, so you guys will have that link available to you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. We'll get started. I'm going to share my screen here. If you guys could just use that thumbs up button just to let me know you guys can see my screen. We'll get started. You guys see that? Wonderful. All right. So here's a quick snapshot of what we're going to be reviewing today. We're going to be going over first course preparation, key steps to take before your classes begin on Monday. We want to make sure you guys are set up for success and have a nice smooth transition. We'll discuss our support services. We take exceptional pride in the support we provide all of our students, so I'll be reviewing some of those services with you. We're going to talk about tips for success. We're going to share practical strategies to help you stay organized, motivated, and confident throughout your entire studies. They're going to be designed to help you have long-term success, which is what we want for all of you. Next, we'll go into the value of industry certifications and how they can enhance your career opportunities. And then what happens after your first course? How do you get from that class to the next? We'll discuss that and what to expect in that transition. We'll introduce you to career services and learn more about the resources and the guidance available to you there, as well as our financial aid team will be joining us and discuss managing your finances, understanding your funding options, and we'll go through that. And then we'll open it up at the very end to go over some question and answers. Make sure you guys get all of those answered before your first day. Let's see. How are we doing with questions? Do we have any in there? Wonderful. Right. So preparing for your first day. Your classes will begin Monday, July 13th. Before your courses begin on Monday, there's a few things that we would like for you all to do to make sure you have that confident start. The first is to understand all of your platforms, which is we use three main tools. The first is going to be your student portal. This is your home base. This is the first place you're going to go to access anything, right? So this is where you're going to have your little profile set up. You'll be able to verify your address. You're going to have a drop-down menu to get access to your email, tools, resources, including Canvas. Canvas is your academic hub. This is where anything regarding your academics is going to live. So this is where your virtual classroom is, where you're going to have your assignments, discussion boards, grades, course material. That is all going to be housed within Canvas. And I highly recommend that you go into Canvas and find that first course of yours and make sure to go to the syllabus and review that. It's going to have really important information, and it's also going to break down your course on a week-by-week basis. Another key place that I'd like for you guys to identify on the syllabus is your instructor, and they might have some course like office hours. So how can I get a hold of my instructor if I have any questions? Having that at your fingertips before you start is going to make you feel more prepared. If something does come up, you know exactly what to do and where to go. Next is Microsoft Teams. This is going to be your communication platform with staff, instructors, peers. You'll be communicating through there, and it's also going to be where you'll attend your live lectures. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to ask all of you to do is before your first course on Monday, you complete your CIET readiness course. It's going to be a course that is already embedded into Canvas for you. This is a short course, but has a lot of really valuable information. It's going to allow you to learn how to navigate through Canvas, review academic policies, how to check your grades, understand the expectations that are going to be asked from you. It's a great resource to just kind of get an idea of what that class is going to look like before you start. So please be sure to complete that prior to Monday as well. And then finally, let's talk textbooks. Okay, so we recommend ordering your textbooks one course at a time. And what this does is it allows to make sure that you are getting the most up-to-date current editions that are required for that course. They could be subject to change, so you want to be sure you're getting the most up-to-date information for your courses. Again, one course at a time. We'll drop the link in the chat below. Thank you, Donald. So you'll go there, you'll be able to identify your next course and then order the required materials there. I know sometimes people ask hardbook, ebook. It is your learning style, your learning preference. You can decide what works best for you. So to quickly recap, we want to make sure you can log into your portal, explore Canvas, make sure you have access to Teams, get that readiness course completed, and then make sure you have your textbooks ready to go by Monday, and you guys will be set off to a really great start. Let's just check, do we have any questions in the chat? Wonderful, okay. All right, so let's review some types of support that we offer you guys here at CIET. Like I said, we take pride in the support we provide our students. First is your dedicated student success advisor. That is my team. You're going to be hearing from them throughout your first course. They're going to be touching base with you, making sure that you can have any of your questions answered. They're going to be your go-to support throughout your entire journey. Questions that may come up, anything, please reach out to them. They're here to make sure that you are supported along the way. The next is the online support portal. So as I mentioned, in the student portal, there's a drop-down menu. There will be a little button at the top that says request support. You can click that. It's a quick and easy way to get questions answered. So you can click that button and put in a ticket, and we can get someone to follow up with you. We do have academic tutoring. This is completely free to all of our students. You can also request that through the portal, through that drop-down menu. We have dedicated faculty, staff ready to support you, whether it's materials throughout the course or preparing for an exam. We'll make sure we coordinate the right support that you're asking for and get that taken care of. And then finally, if you think you might benefit from academic accommodations, our Disability Support Services team is also here. We encourage you to book an appointment and we could talk through what's available to make sure you're feeling supported from day one. And we'll make sure that that link is also dropped in there. Thank you so much, Donald. Right. Tips for success. Okay, so here are a few things that I like to, recommend to make sure you guys are organized and felt prepared. So 5 weeks each course, runs for 5 weeks, and that does go quickly. So staying engaged and participating through the course from the get-go makes all of the difference. So when you log in regularly, review that syllabus ahead of time, understand that workload for each week, keep up with your assignments, you're going to build that momentum not only throughout the course, but throughout your program as well. Second, your live sessions will always follow one of two schedules. So in a course, you will be either a Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday, Thursday. During that course, it will not switch. It will be Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday. From each course to course, it can change. So again, check that syllabus, identify which 2 days are your live lectures at the very beginning. Will make you feel a little bit more prepared as well. Third is create a plan that works for you. I know a lot of our students have full-time jobs, they have family members. Make a plan that's going to fit your life. Okay, setting aside time about 20 to 30 hours each week for your coursework is going to give you the space to stay on top of things and keep things moving and confident. So really thinking through, looking through that syllabus, what does that week look like? What's the course load look like? And how can I fit that into my life is going to help you feel balanced and successful. And then fourth, make sure to make it a habit to check your student email daily. Just like you would your regular email, important information is going to be sent there. So you're going to be communicated by several departments through this email. It's going to be student services, your academic advisor about academic updates, urgent reminders. It could be IT, could be regarding possible lab equipment or finance. So you want to make sure you are checking these emails and making sure you're staying engaged and responding to these people, because we're really trying to make sure that you guys are supported and get everything checked out. So make sure you keep doing that. And some of those messages do require timely attention. And then just finally, quick fun fact is the students who complete their very first course are far more likely to graduate. So like I said, keeping that momentum, not just in that first week, but throughout this first course is really going to set you guys up for success in the long run. Wonderful. Okay, attendance. I'm gonna make sure to go through this so everyone can understand what is required of them. So engagement is essential part of your educational experience. When I say engagement, I mean submitting assignments, participating. It is really important. So our attendance is going to be tracked through 3 weekly checkpoints: Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And they're all going to be due by 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. Those are all those checkpoints. So when you open your classroom, your coursework is going to be broken up into weeks. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you go into that week 1, for example, you're going to see a due date for those assignments for Saturday, the very end of the week. All of those assignments are due by Saturday. I'm going to pause. So everything for that week is required to be completed by minimum by that Saturday. So it is your job as a student to identify which of those assignments you will be submitting by Tuesday or Thursday to meet those checkpoints. Okay. So a minimum of 1 assignment Tuesday, a minimum of 1 assignment by Thursday, and then whatever remaining can be submitted on Saturday. Just pause and check the chat just to make sure. All right. So I want to discuss what will count towards those submissions. I want all of you guys to think of if anything that has a grade or can be graded by your instructor will count as a submission, which could be a lab, projects, quizzes, your discussion posts, replies to your peers, a knowledge check. All of those assignments will count towards those checkpoints and those submissions. So not just going in and doing it, but making sure you click that submit button. It has to be submitted in order for it to get marked for that day. So what does not count would be just logging into your class and just reading a few things, or watching the lecture, or just self-studying or homework, or just read. That will not count towards that active participation. It is that gradable assignment component that is going to be marking off those 3 checkpoints. Just going to pause and make sure if we have any questions before I carry on, because I know attendance is a big topic. Okay. The next important thing that is important is to know that you cannot go 14 days consecutively without posting a gradable assignment. You will get removed from the program if that takes place, but don't worry. Like I said, you have a great team behind you. You will know when you are on track going in that direction. Your advisors will be reaching out to you, phone, by email, text messaging, letting you know that you're kind of getting towards being at risk for that. So staying engaged, posting those assignments is key. And then one more thing is that it is important to make sure by the end of your program, you have a cumulative attendance of 80% or higher. So you can only really miss a few checkpoints, I think it's 1 or 2 each term to maintain that. So staying engaged, posting within those assignments is really important to make sure you also stay above that 80%, which is also required to complete your program. Oh, I see a quick question here. Where can I find the course syllabus? In the classroom, there should be, if you go into your course, I believe on the left side, there's going to be a little menu on the side there, and I believe there will be one that just says syllabus. You can click into that, and it should be there for you. And sometimes on the very front page, if you scroll down, there'll be your instructor's information and a link to the syllabus as well, if they like to tag that there. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any other thing. Thank you guys so much for answering those questions in the chat. All right. Certification. So I'm sure all of you are probably aware. This is a fantastic offering we offer our students here at CIAT. These industry certifications are incredibly valuable in the workforce and really can set you up for success within each individual industry of our programs. One of the wonderful things is we have what's called the unlimited certification policy, and that allows you to take these exams as many times as you need. We want to make sure you guys earn these, get these, and set you up, like I said, for success in the workforce. It does take time. They are difficult exams. We have practice materials. We have some webinars. We have a bunch of different support to help you feel prepared going into taking that exam. We also have a little acronym here. It's FAIL, First Attempt in Learning. So do not be afraid to try that exam. You will get a lot of information back, even if you aren't successful at that first attempt. I believe even some of them give you like kind of a report card of where you went really well, where you didn't, and that's a great resource for study material as well. We are here to support you, and you will work with your student success advisor in regards to all of these certifications as well, and you'll make sure to get those vouchers and get those taken care of. No, a minimum of 3. I see here a question, Darnell. Are we allowed to take all the certs? So the certifications that are affiliated with the courses within your program, you can take. There's not a necessarily a minimum of what certifications that you need to take. I would say if it's affiliated, I highly recommend you take advantage of it. Yeah, so like, as I said, these industry certifications are really valuable. Our Better Career Services, when we do pop over to them, they're going to discuss how valuable they can be. So if it is something that is a part of your program, we highly recommend you take advantage of it. All right, and next, course preparation. So you are currently registered for your first course. We want to make sure you guys feel prepared going from that course into the next. So the first thing to know is that our records team is going to schedule your courses for you. It is not something you guys have to worry about. They will do that for you. From one course to the next, that team will be helping assist you with that. During your first course, it is essential that you guys maintain and pass that first course with a C or better. So that is a 74% or higher in order to get scheduled for that next course and continue on. Okay, so that's 74. Again, your student success advisors will be following up with you, really encouraging you, making sure we get you on pace to make sure we meet that requirement. Next, make sure you complete all of your financial clearance paperwork. We need to have all of these documents on file prior to the last day of your course. So again, checking that email. If you're having any kind of communications, a lot of that will be sent to your student email, and make sure we get those documents submitted. Same thing with official transcripts. If you have any transcripts that are needed, those will all be required to be submitted and on file by the last day of your first course. I like to recommend to everybody, if you have any pending items like this, get them off your plate, try to get it submitted within those first 2 weeks, just so you don't have to worry about it. And then you could just focus completely on your schoolwork. And then if you are in one of our IT programs, we will be mailing and shipping equipment to you. So when I mentioned in your portal, there's that verification, the address verification is really important that you make sure that that is the up-to-date completely, what term by term, if you move from one term to the next, make sure that that is getting updated as soon as possible, because we want to make sure we are sending that equipment to you and that you can receive it. You will also, like I said, be getting email reminders and little messages to kind of give you a warning of that there's going to be equipment getting sent to you, and to make sure that that's getting checked and verified. Thank you, Donald. So he just also plopped into the chat a quick screenshot of where to verify that address for you. So that is in the information, that profile in your portal, of where to locate that and make sure that that address is up to date. If you do all of those things, you're going to be on track. We'll go from that next course, and you'll be scheduled for the following course after that. And just keep going until you finish your program. All right, and without further ado, I'm going to introduce you guys to Ava Burdett. She's a career services advisor, and she's going to go over the different careers resources we have available.
Thank you. I'm like sitting here, like unable to mute myself. Hi, everybody. Thanks for waiting through that awkward pause. My name is Ava Burdett, and I am one of the career services advisors here at CIAT. And in case you didn't know, now you know every single one of you has a designated career advisor. And I know you have lots of advisors. You're going to get used to that, but you do have success advisors, you have admissions advisors, you have financial coordinators, all that fun stuff. So just to add one more to the bucket, you have a career advisor as well. And it is our full-time job to provide career services to you for free. And that is encompassing all things from the very first career exploration conversation of what does your future career look like? What do you want out of your career? What kind of steps can we set up in place to get you to where you want to go, and all the way to landing the job, the interview, applications, and all the nitty gritty in between, looking over your resume, looking over your LinkedIn, navigating the job market right now. And so just wanted to encourage you all that that service, again, is available to you all during your program and even post-graduation up to that 180 days. During that time when you're studying for your exams and things like that, you still have access to career services, which is awesome. And so also wanted to mention, because we get this question a lot. So yes, we're available to you starting now technically, but you won't have access to schedule appointments with your career advisor until week 3. So feel free to reach out to us if you have questions. I'm going to go ahead and put our email in the chat. So if anybody just wants to ask a question, if you want to know who your career advisor is, or if you have just questions right off the bat, we're happy to help. But as far as meeting with your career advisor in that one-on-one space and having an appointment, you do have to wait until week 3 to get access to our platform, Handshake, where it's a job board. We also have Skills First, which will look over your resume for you, prepare you for interviews. So lots of cool stuff. But you'll get access to those things eventually, just not right out of the gate. And so if you have any questions, I'll be here throughout orientation. Feel free to put them in the chat. Or if you have questions afterwards, I'll be here as well. But so excited to have you all here. And all this information is so important. Every time I sit through one of these orientations, I like remember something new or learn something new. I'm taking notes on my own. It's a lot of information, but it's really, really good. So thank you, team, for putting this on. And thanks for letting me join.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. I'm just going to quickly make sure that there's no quick questions before I move on. All right. Next, I am going to introduce you to our financial aid advising manager, Cindy Garvey, and she will go over some of your funding and discuss that.
Thank you, Erin. Welcome, everyone. As Erin just said, my name is Cindy Garvey, and I am the Financial Aid Advising Manager here at CIAT. I'm so excited to welcome everyone and so excited to have everyone here today and welcome you to be a part of the CIAT family. Today, we're going to be going over some very important financial aid topics that I think will apply to most of you, if not all of you, and we're always here for any questions, whether you are receiving financial aid or not. So to start off, I know that most of you were asked to complete the financial aid form, which is the FAFSA form. The FAFSA form is not a one and done. It is one of those forms that unfortunately you have to endure every single year. I know sometimes it can be a little complicated, but guess what? That is why you have your financial aid advisor. That is why you have financial aid coordinators. We are here to assist you, whether that's in completing your forms, answering questions, whatever you need in order to get that form completed. If you have completed a form for this starting this term, you will need to complete one for every academic year. So this academic year, for example, is a 26-27 academic year, which you would have completed the 26-27 FAFSA. For next academic year would be 27-28, which should open sometime after towards the end of the 2026 year. We will send out reminders, of course, via email, as Erin mentioned earlier today. Checking your CIAT emails is going to be very important. That is the way that we communicate with you, whether that's by email or we'll text you or we'll call you. But reminders in regards to FAFSA, important documents, signing important documents that we may need from you, will always be contacting you through your email. So it is very important for you to check that. Okay. It is also very important that you stay eligible to ensure that you meet all of your financial aid requirements each year. So as I mentioned before, completing that FAFSA form, completing documents to ensure that you are getting your federal aid, your scholarships, and so forth. And it's making sure that if you're making payment plans, that you're making them consistently and on time. Soon you will hear from your financial aid coordinators. Up until now, you have been working with your admissions advisors and your financial aid advisors that had helped you complete your documents necessary in order to clear you in order to start your courses and your degree path. Okay, but you're going to be hearing from our financial aid coordinators that will be helping you from now on and will be guiding you through your journey as we require any necessary documents throughout the next following academic years. Understanding your financial aid package. So once we went over all of those documentation during our first meeting with you as a financial aid advisor, the next thing that we'll be sending to you is a offer letter. This is what we use to process any federal funding, any loans, meaning loans, federal grants that we need to process. You will need to sign this offer letter as soon as you receive it in order to avoid any delays in processing. As soon as you sign that, we will be able to go ahead and proceed in our processing. One important note to keep in mind is that refunds and any processing of federal aid will not be done until after your third class. So that is one important note to keep in mind. Okay, if you have any questions in regards to that, we are definitely happy to assist. Your financial literacy and budgeting is also very important. Although we try and assist you with your financial aid and so forth, we are also here to make sure that you are budgeting and that you are managing your finances effectively. We are happy to assist you with any resources that you may need, but in cases where you are failing a course or need to take a leave of absence, that can change your funding. So it is always important to make sure that you're managing your finances effectively, so that in order that you can continue your classes without bringing along large balances. Create a budget, right? You want to make sure that you track your expenses accordingly. You will need books, laptops, supplies, anything that you will need. Those are out-of-pocket costs. So you want to make sure that you're budgeting appropriately for those items. Okay. And like I said before, please feel free to utilize your available resources and seek financial counseling, not only from us, but anywhere on our website that you may find all of these different resources and documentation that can assist you in answering your questions. And like I said before, you will be hearing from your financial aid coordinators over the next few weeks. Once they have all of their documents and process in place, they will be sending you out an email. If you have any questions before you hear from us, please feel free to reach out to us. Our contact information is on this screen, and I'll be happy to thank you, Don. I was just going to add it to the chat. So please feel free to give us a call if you have any questions, or please feel free to email us at any time. I will be here for the rest of the orientation, so please feel free to add any questions to the chat, and I'll be happy to assist. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Cindy. All right, so this is just another reminder. Again, I think we had 1 or 2 questions in regards to final exams and being a hybrid student. That will be covered in that military brief mentioned earlier. Again, that will be at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. Please be sure to attend that, and they'll go into that in detail. And then we can go ahead and open up the floor for some questions. You could just raise your hand and I can unmute your mic. You can also answer some questions or in the chat, and we can try to answer them that way as well. Any questions? That raise hand button is just kind of like the hand that looks like a stop sign right at the top of the bar. There we go. So Brandon, give me a minute here. I'll go ahead and unmute your mic. All right, there you go.
Yes, good afternoon. My question is in regards to attendance. So some of those classes that are going through on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, I should say, I work
Mhm.
those kind of days. If I were to miss the class but attend it when I get off of work, is that still going to count towards my attendance?
So for the live lectures will not count towards attendance. The submissions of work or your gradable assignments will, but all of our live lectures are recorded. So we do know we have some students that are on the East Coast and some of those times may not be aligned, but you will be able to either catch the back end if that works for you, or go back and look at the recording yourself in your own time as well. But we highly recommend trying to attend as many of those as possible.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. All right. We go ahead and I will unmute Jamel.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. Um, Quick question. I'm not 100% sure if you already went over this, but it's in pertains to the midterm and the final exam.
Those,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, finish your.
Are we required to come down to the campus on both of those, or just one? Do we have a choice to select between the two, which one we're gonna show up
So
for?
that will be specifically for our hybrid students, and that will be
Mhm.
discussed in the military brief, and they'll go into detail of what the requirements are to fulfill that.
Okay, and that's the brief at 3:30.
Correct, yes.
Understood. All right. Thank you.
And it looks like we have Fletch Ross. I will go ahead and allow your mic now. You can answer your question there. Able to unmute your mic. Should be able to, the very top right, there's a little mic button. You should be able to unmute it. And then if not, you can also type out your question in the chat as well. We could try to answer it that way.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
There we go.
I
Good
think my
afternoon.
question was answered by the other gentleman already. It was concerning requirements for attendance via midterm or finals. So I'll wait till the 3:30. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. Oh, I saw a question from Devin. Oh, answered his question, I think. Any other questions? This is open floor. We are here to answer any of your questions. If you need clarification on anything, we are here to help you. All right, AJ, I see that hand up. Let me go ahead and there you go. Unmute you. Just make sure you unmute your mic at the top there.
Hello?
Yep, we got you.
All right, so I just got clarification that my courses changed, but I'm looking on all my courses and I'm not able to look up the syllabus or look up what books I need to order. So how I go about that? Because I was supposed to going to do the CIT class for cybersecurity, but I guess it's full, and now it gets switched to college algebra.
Okay, yeah, the link for the textbooks, we can re-add that if you can, Donald, just so that it's the bottom of our chat. You'll be able to pull up the course through that link, that math course, and you'll find the designated textbook that's required for that course there. And then you should be able to have access into the new course. If you're still running into issues with that, then we can have one of our student success advisors follow up with you to make sure you're set up for success.
Yeah, I can't click on it or nothing. It just shows up there, future enrollments.
Okay, we'll definitely look into that and we'll have someone circle back.
Okay.
No problem. Thanks for asking. All right. right, looks like Juan. I'll go ahead and unmute you there.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. No, this goes back to I think one of the original questions regarding attendance and the live lectures. Because
Hmm.
I started thinking about it. I might be or I might not be able to attend my lectures, and I was wondering if there's any negative impact to that.
The negative, there, I wouldn't say it isn't a negative impact other than it's an opportunity to be engaging with your instructors, asking questions. You're going to have your peers there. So it's really a platform to help set you up for success. But academically, as far as the attendance, like checkpoints and things like that, there's
Okay,
not a negative impact.
right.
So I
It's more
definitely
okay.
recommend if you're not able to
Yeah.
attend, definitely go back, listen to the live lecture, understand the material, and then that will help set you up to complete some of your other assignments that are needed.
Excellent. Thank you for clearing that up.
No problem. All right, I see Darnell here. I'll go ahead and unmute your mic, Darnell.
A good day. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
I had a question about the course. So
Hmm.
I have 6 transfer credits for the mathematical portion, but it requires 7 credits. Would I have to take a full class to meet that 1 credit requirement that is not met? Or how will I go about that?
That would be something that we would want to review with our records team. We'll take that offline. We'll have someone follow up with you to kind of review your transfer credits. And then the official transcripts will be required in order to bring that in and transfer in as well, if that they're not already on file.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. AD, do you have another question? Just want to make sure I'm not passing you up.
No, I don't. I think it just stayed up there.
All right, perfect. All right. Any other questions that you guys might have? All right. Jamal, go ahead and answer or ask your question. You should be able to unmute. You there? We'll come back. Cindy, you wanted to say something?
Okay,
You're
now I
muted
can.
right
You're
now,
muted.
Cindy. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I thought I had unmuted my fault. Sorry, we had a question in the chat about going over the financial aid and the veteran benefits one more time. So just briefly, I do see that you said that you did miss that a little bit. I'm sorry you weren't able to hear it. It is recorded, so you can go back. However, when it comes to financial aid, you should have met with your financial aid advisor to go over all of the necessary documents. What's really important to note is that if you are receiving any financial aid, and what I mean by that is federal loans and federal grants, that you are consistently checking in with your financial aid advisor. They will be reaching out to you via email. Now, if your question, I did not go over veteran benefits specifically. That will be covered in the military brief, which is at 3:30. If you are a student who is receiving veteran benefits and financial aid, I would definitely recommend attending that. They do go over a lot of different topics in regards to staying on top of your eligibility with your veteran educational benefits as well as your financial aid. But in a gist, that is definitely all I went over, just to make sure that you're on top of your documentation as we request and reach out to you via email. So I really hope that answers your question. But other than that, feel free. I will reach out to you just so that we are good. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Jamel, I think you should still be able to unmute your mic.
Yes, ma'am. Really
There we
quick,
go.
just to re-clarify if you've already said this or not. The link that we use to get in here, will that be the same link to get into the military orientation?
No, there will be a separate link. I can have Donald maybe plop that link right back into the chat as well, just so it's easy to locate, but it's a different link that you will be going into for the military brief.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. All right. Darnell, do you have another question? I believe you should still be able to.
Yes, ma'am. Are we allowed to enroll into multiple courses at the same time?
And that will be something that you will need to communicate with your student success advisor. And we'll have to do some review because it can impact your finances as well as course availability. We'll want to make sure that that is something that can get reviewed prior to moving forward. So it will be something that might be a little bit more nuanced. So I would recommend communicating with your student success advisor as well as we can loop in finance and discuss possible options for that.
Even if the VRNE is paying for the program?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions while you guys have me? And about attendance. Any kind of course requirements? Derek, yes. Should be able to unmute there.
Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
So just to clarify, because I feel like I wasn't quite understanding. If we do all of the week's assignments and have them all posted Tuesday before midnight, do we still have to post assignments Thursday and Saturday?
Nope. Because
heard.
again, it was at minimum, right? So if you do your work early, which is the great question, I'm glad you asked it. If you're submitting your work early, it is important to make sure you are submitting work for that week's work only. Okay, so if you're on Tuesday and that the Monday, Tuesdays, your days where you can really knock stuff out, 100% you can submit all your assignments on Tuesday and you will have those 3 checkpoints met. But it does not work retroactively. So if you do the same thing on Saturday, it can't go backwards. So you need to make sure you meet those checkpoints ahead of time.
I got you. Thank you so
Sometimes
much.
I like to tell students that if they're wanting to do get ahead of it, is on Tuesday or Monday, you could do your discussion, reply to 2 of your peers. That's 1, 2, 3, you're done. And then you could just focus on getting your work done without having to worry about your checkpoints.
Okay,
Because they'll all be met. And again, make sure you are doing week by week. So if you're someone that likes to work ahead in a class, save that work and then come that Monday or Tuesday of that week, then you can go ahead and submit all your work to make sure all those checkpoints are met. That was a great question. Thank you so much. Any other questions before we wrap up? Just double checking our chat, make sure we don't have anything pending in here. Thank you, team, for getting a lot of those questions answered. Oh, I have a question in the chat. So just to clarify, I can complete all my assignments for the whole week on Monday and Tuesday, and that will satisfy all 3 checkpoints. Yes, that is correct. And again, just to make sure it's very clear, for that particular week's work only. So if it's week 1, only week 1's work should be submitted. During week 2, only week's 2 work should be submitted to meet those checkpoints. Wonderful. I'm so glad I was able to clarify that for you. All right, well, I will let this conclude the end of our session. I will stay on just for a few more minutes. So if anyone has a few more questions here and there, I'll be happy to answer those. But thank you so much for attending, everyone. We wish you all the luck in your first class next week. We're so excited for you guys. Hope you have a great day and a wonderful weekend. Yes, thank you. Wonderful. I agree with Donald. Yes, everyone, you guys got this. It's going to be fantastic. We're excited. Warren, yes, I see you have a quick question. Let me unmute you. All right, Warren, you should be able to unmute you at the very top, the little mic up top there. You can also try to type it into the chat and I can try to help you out that way as well. Yep. So Donald just dropped a little screenshot of the little mic button that you should be able to uncheck in your Teams. And that should give you the opportunity to be able to speak. Warren, I did see your message there. Did you want to try to type your question out if possible, and then we could try to answer it that way? And Roberto, yes, this recording will be available to you guys. So you can go back and revisit any of the information that's been sent. And I'll make sure I wait for your question, Warren, just in case if you're typing that out, I can make sure to answer that for you. About your transcripts to see if any classes were transferable. You should have received a pre-evaluation kind of report that shows the potential transfer credits. Obviously, we will need official transcripts on file to officially bring those on. But if you haven't submitted those official transcripts, we'll want to make sure you get those over to records, and that's what's really going to formalize that evaluation to determine what could be brought over. I can see if someone on our team, one of our team members can maybe send you that pre-evaluation that you might have received upon enrollment, just so you can get an idea too of what to expect in regards to your courses. Did that, hopefully that answered your question more. Maybe you give me like a thumbs up or something. Wonderful. Okay, yeah, we'll have someone follow up with you just to make sure we can cross-reference that for you. All right. Any other last minute questions? Thank you, Nora. Roland. Okay, let's see. We're gonna there we go. You should be able to unmute your mic, Roland. You able to unmute that? Oh, I can wait for a minute. Don't worry. Thank you for letting me know what's going on, Ronald. Oh, Roland, I apologize. You can also type that out too if you're having issues with unmuting your mic, and we could try to assist you that way as well. Okay, I can wait a moment. Thank you for letting me know. That's perfectly fine. Thanks for letting me know. So in regards to the course schedule, those will get sequenced out for you term by term. We will, again, the pre-evaluation that I was referring to will give you a nice list of the courses that are required for your program, and then also, possible transfer credits. That won't be a more formalized thing until we officially have those officials on file and officially apply them to your program and the course sequencing, so that can kind of shift things around a little bit. But if you're needing something that has a little bit more idea of what to expect, we can also have your student success advisor follow up with you to kind of know what the next few courses might look like for you. Does that help answer your question a little bit? Absolutely. I can reach out. Thank you for putting that in there, Ronald. I will go ahead and I will follow up with your student success advisor and see if they can circle back with you for sure. All right. No, thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for attending and joining. Thank you all staff for helping out today. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great day. Bye, guys.